This little table down here, Tony, funnily enough, is a very typical bedside table that I use in my design. You often see this at the flea market. Of course, usually it's in my palette. They usually either painted white or pink or green.
The original vision was to maybe strip it down and change it a little bit.
But that might be interesting.
Tony is an enthusiastic amateur craftsman. He begins the process of refurbishing the small table from the dining room. Rachel has found a unique way to suggest some shabby chic colors to the table.
Now, you're probably wondering, what is she walking around with a cabinet for?
I did have that question in my mind, yes.
Okay, well, the reason is, especially this really beautiful one, which is creme de la creme shabby chic. And being the handsome man that you are...
I could use a little frill in my life, I think.
Well, I'm trying to kind of just introduce some form of shabby chic here.
Using the shabby chic cabinet as inspiration, Rachel and Tony determine the color combination and design.
The typical thought would be, well, let's just paint it white. You know, certainly that would lend itself to that. But the reason that I think this is nice, I mean, for me this is perfect, everything about it, but possibly in your world would be to actually get inspired from it and use the two-tone effect, as you can see here. You know, you've got like a white top here with the green. Would be to actually still paint this maybe a solid green, but to introduce us a little bit of a white trim to it, perhaps maybe just the front panels down here. So let's experiment with that, and then of course, you know, the beauty of doing this is if you don't like it, then we'll just paint it a different colour.
Excellent. Okay. Sounds good.
So, but I'm going to keep the cabinet.
With new direction from Rachel, Tony starts painting. Like the staining process, it requires care and patience.
Rachel selected these two colors. I must say they're looking great. Just trying to not load a whole bunch of paint on at the same time, so I'm making huge globs. Also trying to take it easy a little bit around the edges so it doesn't run everywhere. And it's really looking good, I must say. I like this color a lot.
The newly painted side table is both functional and decorative, and ties nicely into the color scheme.
Now, Tony, I actually really do feel that this little table here has a whole new lease of life.
I love this color you picked out.
Yeah? Yeah, it's tied in really well, I think, with the fact that you already had those chairs and those colours. And I think even just a little tiny accent of the white front there, again, it ties into what you already have. It just makes this table a little special.
Rachel uses large shells as a substitute for vases.
Now, Tony, I found another little place to put some more flowers. These two little blooms here were actually broken off from the stems over there, and I couldn't bear the idea of just tossing them. And so I just thought, well, certainly if you have company coming, why not just pop them in this shell and put a little bit of water? And that's kind of a pretty natural thing.
I really like how you use that, yeah.
Tony's apartment before was nice, but Rachel's shabby chic additions make it charming.